for it.
What is poppin' in my choppin' my Bagel Bites? It is Mr. Bagel Bites here, bringing you another deck profile video. I'm probably going to make this, honestly, part of a deck direction video. So I took Exodia to locals. I said I was finally doing it. It happened, and I took everybody by surprise because I used the Shining Sark stuff again, but we changed it up and had Exodia. It threw everybody off. It hurt them because they didn't know how to play against this at all on the fly when thinking they were playing against this. But it was super funny. But let me go ahead and get into it, because I think I have some really good building blocks here. We did go 4-1, so we did take first, which was pretty nice. Only loss was to Fiendsmith Snake Eyes, because they just had too much gas and we couldn't beat them one time. We did beat one Fiendsmith Snake Eye, one Ubel, Fiendsmith, Sprite, lost to the one, and then, man, I don't even remember the other deck. I think it was something weird. Oh, it was Heroes. Yeah, it was Heroes. So we beat those, but then we lost to the one Fiendsmith Snake Eye, which hopefully, if depending on when this video goes up, it might not be an issue anymore. Ban list, baby, ban list. So let me go ahead and get into the video, and I'll kind of show why it's a deck direction, because I think this is going to be taken in a few different ways. So first, obviously, we have... Oh, goofed there a little bit. There we go. We have the 5 pieces of Exodia. You got to play them. They are a little bit of bricks, which is why we are playing 44. I want to say it's 44-45. I changed with ratios a little bit at the last minute. But we do got the 5 pieces of Exodia. Did not get the draw. It didn't happen. We play 3 of the Shield. Shield gets you Onk. Onk gets you Exodia, big guy. I think it has to stay at 3. Kind of the same thing with Sengenjin. I think they both have to be like the 3 ofs, because he searches you the monster, which means if you got him, you have Shield, so you have Onk. So you get to play extra copies, basically. I only do play 2 of the Golem. I don't think he's necessary at 3. I think there are brews where he could be good at 3, but, like, he's a little bit lower. He's a 6, which is nice, but he just gets you Temple. Like, the Temple's not really, like, necessary. I'd rather just max out on the other ones than have these to get the Temple, because we do have other ways to get to it. 3 of the Onk. You need the Onk. Onk gets you... It makes these free to summon instead of paying 2k. And it gets you big guy, gets you Exodia Fusion. So I think he's necessary. 1 Blaze, 1 Exod, 1 Obliterate. I feel like that's pretty standard. Pump them to 10k and like win the game. This is the win the game card. This is like the make sure to set up your win your game card if you go first. And then this is just like the other one you have that can stop and like spin monsters and stuff and get you Exodia pieces if you need it for some reason. I think I played like once or twice. Like it came up, but it wasn't like. I mean, it happens. Like it's a card. 2 Wedju Temple. I wasn't playing 3 because I am playing 2 of the Golem. We also are playing 1 Secret Village. So if you have Exodia plus this, you kind of just you kind of win. That was basically one of the big win cons. Is Exodia plus Secret Village is pretty good. But then we play 1 Terraforming. And 1 set rotation. Set rotation, we can throw the Secret Village at them. If we already have the Wedju Temple and we don't really want it again, we can play the set rotation, give them the second Wedju Temple, and then we get the Secret Village. And that's pretty good because then they can't activate the Wedju because if they don't have a spellcaster. So then they just can't play a field spell, which is really cool. So it comes up. I think it's good. I really like set rotation in this deck. Stack those here. 3 Prosp. We need to see the cards. We're playing a little bit higher ratio, and since we play like 5 pretty big bricks, other than that, the consistency is pretty good though, honestly. Like I don't think I felt like I drew any bricked hands in 5 rounds. Like not like unplayable brick. Like there were a couple where I'm like, I can't go very far with this, and like a couple hand traps might stop it. But it never felt, like, overwhelmed. Especially because, like, playing against is awkward. Not many people know how to play against it, which is cool. And this is how we make sure our plays kind of go through. So we're playing triple crossout designator. And then we got, like, kind of weird ratios. Because we're playing, like, good cards that people also just play. Like, obviously, like, Prosp, Terraforming are, like, targets and stuff for it. Not really Exodia pieces, per se. We play Called By, another card to make your cards go through. But then we play 1 Imperm, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Veiler. So I think this deck is kind of like how I kind of talked about Dark Magician before, where we can't really play a lot of hand traps that go like 1 for 1. They have to be high impact. But playing like these and then like ones in the side to like adjust for what we need, I think is really good. Plus, just drawing these never feels bad. So they're either nobleman crossout designator targets, or they're just good cards to have, obviously. And then we play 3 shifter, because shifter is, I mean, it's shifter. It's a good card, and shifter decks are pretty good. If you're not playing Fiendsmith Snake Eye, you're probably playing a shifter deck, but it is what it is. We play one of the statue for Silhouette Rabbit, because that's typically one of your big end boards, is Exodia guy, hopefully a secret village, and the statue in order to negate a special, and that's honestly pretty good. It's pretty good. Another one, it's kind of like a flood. It is a flood. There can only be one, and it's at 1, so that's why it's at 1. Good card. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then we play some board breakers for going first and second. These 2 are for going first or second. Super Poly, obviously. We play 2. I cut it. It could go to 3. I honestly just wanted to cut it to keep the deck count a little bit lower, and like it's not always necessary or even good, but some matchups it just feels like super high impact to have this. And then, I mean, yeah, it comes up, and I like it. And if I have the extra deck space, I want to play it. And then we play 2 Lava Golem in 2 Raw Sphere mode. Yeah, I didn't really want to maximize 3 on one or the other. There are enough boards where they play more than 2 monsters that the Raw Sphere mode I think is good, but Lava Golem clears 2 and like I feel a little better. I almost played a weird brew that played like trade-in and some stuff. I might share that as a part of another deck direction. Didn't end up going for it, but that's the main deck. But there is something there where it's like a 8-level trade-in with like Horus cards and stuff that I was trying. Now we'll go ahead and go into the extra deck here. 3 of the fusion. 3 doesn't typically come up, but with Unicorn and other stuff, I'd rather just have the 3 targets. Then we got Super Poly targets. We got Dragos Depelia, Mud Dragon, Garua, Yubel, and the Ashen guy. I forget which one this name is. Yeah, it's Embers. I just always play him called Ashen guy. Because like it's kind of funny when they have like 2 pyros and you like Super Poly. Like it does come up. And then he's kind of like really good on either player's turn, because if he battles a pyro, you just kind of pop it. Plus, when he's summoned, you get a field spell, I think, from the graveyard. Is that it? I always just grabbed it from the grave, so I assume it is that. Yeah, you target a field spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand when he's fusion summoned, which is pretty cool. So if they out your Wedju Temple or your Secret Village, you can just get it back on their turn, potentially, if you have Super Poly, which is really cool. I liked him. He felt really good. He came up a couple times. That's the fusions, and then just links. We have SP, Rabbit, really good. Anima for Exodia pieces, basically. Access Code, Dark, Selene, and to round it out, we play the one Typhon. I feel like most of these are pretty self-explanatory. I cut Underworld Goddess at the last minute. I would probably consider putting it back in. I would probably cut Dark if I was going to do it, but I kind of really like Dark today. If I was going to do it, though, it would probably be Dark or the Anima. And then Typhon, I think, is just an invaluable card. And then for the side deck, the other 2 Ash Blossoms that aren't in the main, 1 Veiler. I didn't want to play 2 Veiler. It was kind of because like the side is a little tight. 3 of these that went in every game too, no matter what the time was left, because just gaining your life points back with Dogwood is just so good. Like I honestly had it in the main, and like I talked myself out of it last minute. But honestly, I want to kind of put it back in the main, because like just gaining your life points back, pumping up your Exodia, and then like just having that life point sustainability, since you're paying so much if you don't have Ankh for these guys, like the Millennium monsters, is honestly just so good. It's just so good. I'm not even gonna lie. 3 Droll for 2 reasons. 1, the Droll is good into the matchup, and then 2, it's a crossout designator target. Same thing with Dimensional Barrier, because if they Dimensional Barrier you and they call Fusion, and then you can't play your guy, I'd rather, if I have crossout, which it did come up, game 3 against the Fiendsmith Snake Eyes, they sided in Barrier for the Exodia, and I was able to cross out, and they just like got blown out, because then I was able to just play off and make a 10k Exodia. And then to round it out, 1 Duster, and then 2 Lightning Vortex. Or Lightning Storm. Sorry, Vortex. Been Edison on my mind. But I really like it. I think there's a lot of nuances to the deck. I think it has a bigger ceiling than people think, and I think the cards are really good. There are definitely a few routes we can go, and once this deck gets the Blue Eyes, I honestly think it's a real contender, and I'll probably try out that 8 deck with like Horus and stuff again. I could definitely see it moving toward like a Horus Brew with these cards once the Blue Eyes comes out. But that's the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button to stay up to date on Mr. Bagelbite's content. I super appreciate it. And then, as always, catch you later.